All right, just a quick reminder, before everybody gets going, make sure that you don't wait a second to respond to somebody because there's a little time delay in the audio, so be aware of that.
Stephanie logged into her iPad, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
That must be 2 o'clock, so it's time to start the meeting.
Do we have that for every meeting?
Michael Bell to announce it. Well, let's get right into business. Did we get any public comment from anybody, Melissa?
No, we did not.
Okay. So let's start at item 1, placement of a mural at Austin Park. I have not been able to contact the lady that did the mural on the wheels on the building right there on Gulf. I've been unable to contact her. Do we have any contact information for her, or do we have the Lake County Arts Council helping us with that?
So Alan has been trying to reach Violet. He's had several conversations with her. By the way, Alan's not able to make the meeting today, just so you know. He has another obligation. So he doesn't have any concepts on the mural. He's tried to contact her a few times, so he was going to have me ask the group if anyone else wanted to have, open it up to others to have a mural put on there if anyone had any contacts. He wasn't sure if Bruno was going to make it today either. But, it's central.
It was the.
I'm sorry. It's, we were thinking, like the marketing committee discussed about having a retro theme. And we do have several historic photos that we've gathered that we could, talk to with an artist about a concept.
Okay. Yes. The Art Council was involved in contacting Violet, correct?
Yeah, and I think that Alan was talking with her directly as well.
Okay. Okay. Anybody has any ideas of what kind of mural we want to put on there, or was suggested like Melissa said? Or anybody else has any comments?
I cut out at the first part. This is at Austin Park at the bathrooms or somewhere else?
Yeah,
the Austin Park bathrooms.
I'm not an artist, unfortunately.
It's now a little brown building that needs some love.
It seems to me that I thought that we had looked at some pictures before.
Do we have any record of that, Melissa or Tina?
No, I don't.
In other words, I remember when we looked at deciding on the baths, I thought that there were other things that we were shown.
We were. I think those were just different concepts for the senior center. And so the question is, do we want to continue, that fishing theme across 2 locations, or do we want to have a different type of design and theme?
Well, I think it deserves it's a different spot. The big fish is kind of near the entrance of Redwood Park.
Right.
Our past discussions had included,
should be a little bit
the retro baseball theme, I think your committee had discussed.
Yes. Was there also a retro boat or something in there too with water skiers and things like that?
Right, that's what I remember, Dirk, is water skiing, and so we could maybe get something playing off of that, of water sports. It's not just for fishing. There are other like sailing and.
I think that's more appropriate there. I agree. So we're waiting to get Violet to come to talk to us and see what he comes up with, or do we want to go to the Arts Council again and see if there are other people that want to be involved in it?
maybe the art council, just, I know it's my first time here, but it's always good because maybe you can get several different ideas and they can reach out to more people. I also don't know who Violet is, but I think that's always a good way because then you can get a few more ideas too. Maybe they can have a few different designs.
Okay, I will see how I can reach out to the art council. I think Bruno was involved in that the last time, so hopefully he can make a contact with that.
Right.
So the basic concept is going to be more of a water sport oriented mural on bathrooms there. Kind of appropriate, I guess.
Okay.
And that Arts Council is really bullish on promoting and setting up murals, so I'm sure that they would be 100% on board, if I recall.
Yes, they were. They gave us a presentation at one point at the City Hall right there. Okay, item 2, David. That's really your item, huh? Business map.
So I have not, I haven't reached out since shutdown. I know they went offline for a little while. I can reach out this week and pick that back up again if unless there's any objections. But I think we're pretty locked in, and I just had to coordinate with Alan to get that all printed.
Yep. Okay, so let's proceed with that because people are coming back here again. Probably going to see an influx of people coming this weekend.
Absolutely.
I definitely get a lot of people asking about just specific map information for just Clear Lake, so it's wonderful. When I first started here 3 months ago, Stephanie had mentioned that process getting off and going, so that's definitely one of my big points I see on the visitors section, people asking for specific areas and a map just for downtown Clear Lake, so it's really great.
Actually, yeah. Chelsea, I'll share the map, and I don't know if Stephanie shared the drafts with you, but I'll absolutely share it with you. Oh,
Looks
beautiful.
like
So you know what we're talking about. Awesome. Yeah. So I will reach out to them right after this call, and I imagine that they're either back running again or getting close to it. So.
That's perfect.
Very good. Moving on to developing a downtown brand.
So this was an item that Alan had put on the agenda. So since he wasn't able to make it, I got a little bit of clarification from him and an update. He said that we're hopefully close to contracting with a company, a consultant, to do a downtown business market study and plan to kind of figure out what types of businesses and the needs and the gaps are that we have, to develop some logo and to develop its own logo and some signage in the more area of Austin to Highlands, to develop more of a traditional downtown feel.
Like banners on streetlights and things of that nature?
Yes. Yeah, so that would also include some community meetings, but our thought is to have it more toward when we can actually have people physically here rather than doing it via Zoom. I think it's a more productive process when you have someone, that can be in person, rather than showing what our ideas are via Zoom. It kind of loses something. So our thought is once we are able to get back to normal, moving forward on this process.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And one thing you wanted me to mention was that it would be a new logo, not a use of the city seal, but a new logo for visitor attraction.
Okay.
So.
All right.
That's why you wanted
Cool.
to let everyone know.
Good. I think discussion of upcoming events. Tina, I think that's from your ballpark. Go ahead.
I'm having a fit not having any events right now, but as soon as I get the go-ahead, I'd love to start doing the events again.
Mm-hmm. Is there 4th of July? Is that still on, or is that off the table?
I honestly don't know.
I spoke with Alan before the meeting on the 4th of July specifically, And the thought is, right now, we had planned to do the fireworks along with a few food vendors, but the thought was to coincide that event with Lakeport's event, to kind of have it at both ends of the lake. And now that, as you know, Lakeport has canceled their event, I think we need to rethink it, because
Okay.
I think that would be a very big crowd, and I'm not sure that we have the ability to do that.
Yeah,
But-
I guess we'll still have to wait for the public health officer to give a blessing for those kind of things at this point.
Right, so we may have to rethink it a little bit.
It would certainly seem that our event by far is one that people, because I know my son and I have gone out on our boat many times, and you can park and you don't even have to come into the city of Clear Lake to see the beautiful fireworks. So, and I also think that even with social distancing, we could certainly still have a wonderful parade down Lakeshore Drive. Just because, families come and if you think about it, especially we could mark off the sidewalk. So, I mean, I just think it would be a wonderful thing to do, to have something in our fair city.
I think it would be, but I think we'll have to kind of follow the public health officer's guidelines at this point and see what.
Right. Well, hopefully by that time, maybe.
And do we know, typically the Lions Club is the major sponsor of the 4th of July event. Do we know if they are doing anything, Melissa, or anybody
Well,
else?
they are the event holder. I know
Uh-huh.
that Alan is in talks with them, the Lions Club, as well as, trying to incorporate the public health officer's orders. So
Okay.
I know he's going to circle back with them after hearing that Lakeport had canceled theirs.
Okay.
So,
Any other events that we still need to think about that we will have, or
Well-
that are past July?
I do have a couple of updates on the concerts in the park. We had planned to start in June. But June, Alan was talking to Bicoastal Media, and the thought is to hopefully keep them for the fall. So June and
Okay.
July are most likely out. Hopefully August, September, maybe October, we'll have them. And so for the 40th anniversary, we're still kind of trying to figure that one out. That had originally been planned to coincide with the Soapbox Derby, have the 40th anniversary. But as you know, that's mid-September. Right now, the fair is canceled, which is just a week and a half before what we had planned our big event around. So we're not sure yet. And it may be that we postpone until springtime, the Derby.
Yeah, that's the way it is nowadays, so
Well,
we have to play it by ear.
Right, instead
What-
of having to pare down our events so that they're so small or limited, really, in order to have a really good event and a good celebration like we all, deserve in memory of our 40th anniversary and our second, Soapbox Derby, it may be that we have to have it just a little bit later to have the same amount of fun that we'd have in September under normal circumstances.
Right. Just a question for organizational wise. How long does it really take to put the event together? If we find out mid-July that we could hold the Soapbox Derby and everything, how is that enough time to pull it off?
It would, in all honesty, it would be very difficult. We've got to get the word out, we've got to develop, we have the applications developed. We'd have to get everyone's applications in. It would take a lot of staff time. It's not impossible, but we also have to think about, last year we got a lot of sponsors. I don't know, Tina, you can talk to that.
It's not impossible. It can be
Okay.
done. The foundation.
I'm just saying,
The
so
foundation of it
let,
was done last year. However, if we want it to be better than it was last year, we need more time. If
Okay.
we want it to be mediocre, yeah, let's get it done. But if we want it to be bigger and better and have people talking about how much better it was, and give the businesses enough time to recuperate from the COVID and to be able to sponsor us to the way we need them to sponsor us, we need the extra time.
Right. And I think, sorry, jumping in, but even with Tina and I have spoken in the past about even the fishing tournaments, you know, we need a little time. I have been having a lot of calls about people wondering about the 4th of July and coming up here because they have second homes and they want to come up and they want to celebrate. So I have a list of people who've been wondering even the fishing tournament. But like Derek was saying, even if we end up maybe getting not approved, or, you know, if we're able to sort of move forward, if we are able to get everyone together and try to get something flowing, it might be possible. But I agree with Tina on needing some extra time, because even with the fishing tournaments, I had sent out letters a month before, and of course everything crashed right around when we start getting stuff together for that first fishing derby. But I didn't get any responses, and I tried calling back to see, and of course just seeing that little small flex of people who have helped in the past, and they have their minds other places, like you're saying, you know, trying to get their business flowing, and it is important to keep our community going, but helping them sort of start out and help us get stronger, maybe it would be good to wait until spring.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll bring this up at tomorrow's council meeting and see what the general consensus is of the council, what we want to do, because we do want to keep a positive note going on our city since we have, and to see how we can keep that momentum going. So.
Right, exactly. So, and even trying to help each other. I don't know, if throwing a smaller event, like you're saying, something mediocre, maybe if we had something more community style, but not being like a big 40th celebration, but something just to celebrate being able to come out of this. Maybe at some point, if we're able to come together with like the chamber and the city and figure something, or just a mini celebration. But again, that's gonna have to be by the guidelines to see what's going on then.
Okay. All right. I think we have some consensus on that too. Anybody else has some ideas and things that we need to be doing and thinking about? I'm still working with that sign on the north end of town, and have not been able to, or miscommunicating with the gentleman that owns that piece of land. So we're still working on that.
Okay. I wonder if maybe Chelsea shouldn't put out, if nothing more, I know that there have been people that have asked for, you know, how do you do the directions, in other words, how to put together a soapbox. So, you know, it might not be a bad idea to maybe put something out that says it has not been officially canceled. So, you know, you're encouraged to build your soapbox, because who knows, maybe even as far into like October, or even, you know, early November, especially if you had it like on a Saturday during the day. Of course, you're going to have it during the day anyway. We could still do that. I'm just saying, instead of just losing it altogether, since there have been people that have shown an interest, to at least put something out that says, you know, continue to build your soapboxes. We're still hoping to have it, you know, but on the off shot that we don't, at least they've had something. No information is not as good as having some information, in my opinion.
I think that's a good point, Stephanie. So, okay, Melissa, Tina, you have anything to add to this?
No, I think we're good. I don't think that the plan is to cancel the soapbox derby. I think it's just to postpone it if we need to. We certainly want to have it, and it was a great event. It was so much fun. And so I think, you know, even if we don't have it in September, we are going to have it in the springtime.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's why I think it makes sense to let people know, so that people can go ahead and build build it so they're ready when we do have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Chelsea, you have anything that you want to add to this?
I think it's nice. That's a good idea. And even doing like like we're talking, maybe something small just for the Derby if everything goes okay, and then do the 40th in the spring, like you're mentioning, so we could do something big. Maybe we could do something like that, and then it sort of is something still small enough where it's bringing the community together if the health guidelines and everything match. But by then, hopefully it's easier. That might be nice. It'll see the community coming together more, and like Stephanie said, it might be nice for people to have a little extra project to do, like, oh yeah, the soapbox derby. I did that last year, or my kids were interested last year, and maybe we could still build it.
Right. There's a lot of at-home projects being done now with people being put in place. So maybe it's a good time to remember, hey, you got to keep on building. So, David, do you have anything else?
No, I'd much rather be building a soapbox derby car than doing yard work. So I like that idea.
Me too.
All right. Thanks, Melissa and Tina and Chelsea, Stephanie, David. Thank you. And we'll just keep this going. On the next month's agenda, let's put these reminders up there so we know that we have to prepare ourselves and get our little section up to date and ready to have the meeting. Thank you all.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.